riding a little bit of that momentum to try to get a good performance here. Now back on board with Gambit, as we said, struggled in game number 1, but looking to perform here in game number 2. But more damage coming in. They're going to have to win this battle, as this is a highly contested part of Geyser right now, chasing a player away. Looks like that's going to be the Weiger players that are going to go back over to the Pills.
Yeah, Gambit taking down 2 players from Weigers. This is one really interesting building because it has so many entry points into it. So it's really hard for another team to split up, try and peek, because they can get killed off so easily if Gambit plays that perfectly. And they recovered, they got Hardeki back up, and they were able to turn it around, kill 2 people on Weigers, and now Crypt has to recover and maybe rat this one out.
Absolutely, it's going to be tough for him. You can see that there's maybe even some pressure here from the Vault Exit as well. Tries to grapple out, taking a lot of damage. Needs to bank this corner if he can somehow. Manages to do so without taking more shots, but even more angles. Unsurprisingly from Geyser, you have to imagine that that was a big hope and a big prayer there to try to get away with the amount of angles that teams would have into that Vault entrance. So that will be Weigers, our second team to exit. They made that first push on the back buildings. Gambit held very strong, though. It's a sign of better things to come here, potentially, for Gambit. As we take a look at north at the exact site of the downfall of Weigers. This is exactly where Crypt fell, right here at the Vault entrance. Now north, setting up in an area that we actually saw, if you happened to be watching qualifiers yesterday, this is exactly the play that Complexity made in one of their qualifying games during a Geyser end circle as well.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember Complexity making that play over there, and they ended up getting punished for it. But it's nice to see North in a really, really good spot, holding this tunnel where it might end right outside of that tunnel in Geyser. If they can hold this off, they are playing Watson, so they will be able to look at the... Oh, they're going to camp. They're going to camp in like a corner, and in case the team comes through, they're going to be able to shoot them in the back or in the side. So it's a nice setup from North right there. Looking pretty strong.
Might be something good this way.
Absolutely, and it also feels like, tell me if you agree, it feels like they're also holding way deeper in Vault, just in case the off chance that this circle does pull north towards No Name, away from Geyser. It feels like they're playing much deeper than they would be if they were really sure this was a Geyser circle.
Yeah, I think that they're playing deep in there, so that way when people come through that choke, that they're going to have to look. They're going to have to look left. They're going to have to look right. They're going to have to look in front of them, up top, and then they're going to catch them off guard because he's got that little rock to hide behind, and then he'll inform his team, and then they'll have multiple angles on the team coming right through that choke. And they'll be able to kill them off pretty easily, hopefully, if they don't have a Gibraltar. Now, if they have a Gibraltar, it's different because then they'll be able to throw a bubble forward. They'll be able to maybe focus one of North's players and cut them off. So having a Gibraltar in a type of situation like that is really, really good.
Absolutely. I'll have to see exactly how that pans out for them, and if any teams do need to make that rotate. You have to think that team that's just up north there on the minimap right now in No Name and Capital City East outskirts, if they try to make that vault push, they will meet that aggression right away, maybe have to take the westernmost underpass route instead. But now also taking a look here at the Chill and ALGS squad as they make the route. They actually take the very long way around. They want to avoid underpass. They want to even avoid the ridge. Instead, they're going to go through this central choke that's going to bring them a little bit towards Harvester, and they can make a slower rotate back over towards Geyser.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. This is the team that I believe we saw in Trials, so they might have a few gold items. I really love Trials for that, being able to get really good loot. Even though they had to travel across the world to get to this end zone, they're going to be really geared up. They're going to be focused. They're going to be ready to encounter any team around here, but they're in the zone, so they don't have to get quite to the end zone just yet. They might rely on other teams pushing and then end up third partying to get their position in Geyser later on. We'll see here shortly soon.
Absolutely not. DNMK, excuse me, as we said, the South African team. They're actually holding the ridge choke, and this is the height, the elevation that you want to hold in that choke, whether you're running a Watson or, as you see in that example, whether you're running a Caustic. That is the area you want to hold if you want to be able to gatekeep teams that are coming from Fragment, even coming towards from Harvester or sorting towards Geyser. So they're going to look to hold that choke, maybe grab some KP along the way as we take a look here at Luminosity Gaming, as they mentioned in game number 1, of course, back under the LG banner. These guys playing playing under CHMK earlier on. Then we saw Kasanya of LG fame rejoining that roster. Now they're all back under the Luminosity banner. It's a team we've been watching very closely since the beginning of Apex, almost a year since the Apex Legends preseason invitational, where Luminosity Gaming stormed onto the map, and now they are here back a force, even though we haven't seen them as high as you might expect in the overall standings. Certainly a team that these players in the lobby know can fight with a force. Now as we take a look once again at DNMK still holding that Ridge choke.
Yeah, Luminosity Gaming has been a strong team, even though they weren't signed before. I'm happy for them. Congratulations to getting signed. But they've always been really strong players, and I believe they're a really good contestant for this tournament. Obviously, the best teams are competing right now, so every team is going to be a very strong team. Here we are with Third Impact Black, though, and let's see what they're up to right now.
Yeah, Third Impact looking like they're playing a little bit further out, knowing that they're going to have to make a little bit more of a late rotate, and they're actually stuck between a rock and a hard place. Their two options are Underpass, which is going to bring them down into that downhill choke, and then the Ridge as well, where they have to go uphill a little bit first. So these are going to be two difficult rotations. As we talk about later game rotations, now I'll interrupt myself as we take a look here at GSD actually in a fight here at Geyser as these buildings are going quick. I believe Dell's going to go down. Nasty will go down as well. It's all strafe here on purple armor. Let's see if he can get this down. And right now doing a little bit of damage across. You're also seeing Navi and Myth in the feed as well. Now coming out, here's the Mastiff. No, that will be GSD out. As you see, they will be our fourth team to exit. 16 squads left.
Major pushers with the perfect push. The Mastiff doing a lot of damage right there, and they were able to clean up GSD pretty well. So good on them. Triumph in the kill feed, taking out Kick Gaming. This was our winner team from the last game, and they look pretty strong right now.
They do. You and I were talking about it during the break, just how strong Triumph is. Not only do they take first in that game number one, but we also got to talk about just how they qualified, because they qualified into this through the EU finals with 89 points over major pushers in second, who only had 65. Really great performance from them, and we also saw a lot of recent success from them in both GLL and Esports Arena. So Triumph, a team not only to watch coming in, but clearly they are also ready to play here on Super Regional Sunday as well. Now taking a look here at Myth, they're one of the teams that we so often see has to take the very low ground underneath these buildings at Geyser. It will offer cover for a period, but they know they're going to have to get ready for their next rotate as well here. 15 squads left, so a slightly faster pace here in this game compared to that game number one, and not surprising based on the end circles that we have in these games 1 versus 2, girl.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see the difference between the teams that actually had to qualify versus the teams that have already qualified through the last tournament, because they, they got to play this morning. They got the practice in, and maybe that just made enough confidence for them to be able to play super well in the games today.
Yeah, it's such a great point, because you even saw a lot of pro players. Now that we have the new super regional format where teams do auto-qualify, keep in mind, this is the first time we've seen this in Apex Legends Global Series play. So now you have teams auto-qualifying in. You saw a lot of players on Twitter yesterday actually saying, man, I really wish we were competing today. We auto-qualify, but I'm so used to playing on Saturdays to qualify that it feels weird not doing so. And the teams that did seem to be coming in hot here so far in EMEA. As we take a look here at Third Impact, they still have not been able to make that rotate. They're playing a much later edge, as they're just going to still sit at the northern part of these two chokes in between the Ridge and Underpass. For a moment, a little bit of quiet for them, but they will continue pushing here towards the west as they get closer to that Underpass choke.
Yeah, here Third Impact getting the kill on DNMK, sorry for that, in a good spot here for them.
Now checking back in at Geyser as we go back to Flavor of the Month. As we said, a team that we have kept a very close eye on right now. That bombardment will be protected by this dome. But Third Impact Black, as well as Flavor of the Month, both in 17th and 18th right now after game number one. So two teams that are absolutely looking to step it up in game number two. As a reminder, they'll have 6 games to do so rather than just 5 like we've seen throughout the rest of ALGS. Great 99 spray coming in there from Taylor. Now trying to fight. As we said, the low ground here at Geyser is so valuable, and really things are going to start to get very thin throughout these next few minutes here. Here's the cue from Taylor, trying to get across, going to head just towards that east, going to try to get a little bit of cover here for Noth, who's going to need to get a heal off as soon as possible as well. There goes the med kit.
Yeah, there's so many teams around right now. They're trying to recover. They're trying to get those medkits off. They don't have the best armor of all, but they seem to be able to recover. Luminosity Gaming here, though, they're trying to get in. They're trying to get into that zone. They're getting pressured a lot. They're using the Gibby Dome to hold the team off, but that team is indeed pushing, but they get killed off. There goes Triumph, ladies and gentlemen, by Luminosity Gaming.
My goodness, and a team that we had just spent so much time talking about, not only just now, but also after game number 1 with how hot they came off of that game. They will make the push. It looks like they had a slight advantage pushing that rock on LG, but as you said, girl, they will actually be the ones that get punished for that push, and it's a great use of a dome as well as the Mastiff, even a little bit of fence play there to make sure that LG hold the edge there. They're able to do it. They will stay alive in the game, and just like that, Triumph, who was our first place team, ranked number 1 in the standings so far today. Great wing shots, by the way, out of Mistral, out of Outsiders. They will exit much earlier than expected, not even in the top 10, which will certainly make things even more interesting for the rest of the day. Now, I'll go ahead and now jump into a listen then with Outsiders.
Yeah, TP on left, on the right side,
That's the caustic, that's the caustic.
He TP just behind us. You can probably fence it, KD, I'm watching. You can fence it, You're on top here.
I fence it.
Okay, open the door.
Yeah,
Keep watching the other side, I'm gonna play outside, alright?
Go on here.
Nice. That's the Wraith.
Yeah, you're gonna rest.
Just in front of me. He's cracked.
He's
one.
resting
I'm
now.
rushing the guy here.
No, you're alone, bro. You're alone. We have to hold the back. Did he break my fence? He broke my fence, so he's gonna take TP. It's taking TP. Took TP now.
I did big damage on him. All crack.
Under.
One took balloon.
Knock.
All took balloon.
I cracked
That's
one.
okay.
No, listen, on me somewhere.
Watch the back.
On me somewhere. On top.
Behind. I think they're like behind.
Crack.
Zone is coming. One team is here. One team is at the rock. We have to
We
push
need to
left.
focus this team here. Fuck this team
yeah.
in front of me. Fuck this team in front of me.
No.
I'm gonna peek here though.
Yeah.
I want to go for this one, just.
What's up, crack? Peek.
I wanna full
One
scan.
knock.
Nice.
I'm going. Knocked one.
Oh, no. Rest.
Get to me if you can.
Yeah, here.
I got your land.
Nice. Hold.
I'm shooting on my shot.
Is there an armor swap?
Yeah, hey, prepare on me.
Here. Get nades if you can. What's the plan?
I had to
now,
loot. Come on, guys. Had to loot.
Should we play the top? I think I'm just gonna TP here, but we need to fuck this team actually inside. I should make a TP and try to fuck with this team inside here. I think that's the play, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make TP, alright? Peek the fucking door here. I'm gonna make TP here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have no net.
I'm getting shot on the outside. You should not take my TP.
Yeah.
I think we
Can we
walk
walk
right.
here though, deep? Like we can walk, we can zip. We
should get to here.
This
Get to
team is
here.
gonna TP. They're not.
Yo, I can take TP and fuck them in the back actually.
Go. I don't have nade. We should go on the dome.
go
Left. There's a red on the left.
Get inside.
All right, now we see Outsiders pushing in. They're having a hard time pushing into the zone because they were on the lower ground, but they did a really good job keeping to top 4. He's still alive, still alive with 1 HP left, and he goes down there, 3 squads alive. Who will win this? North in a really good position. All 3 players up. It's North against another team, and they have the best position. They have the back corner. North against Alliance here. Vave's doing in a lot of damage. Hack is taking in a lot of damage. Who will win here, Alliance or North? Nice R9 spray by Vase. IPN going down. Hack is going down. Vase, the last one alive. Will he be able to clutch this? Mandy on 1 HP, but no, North wins. And what an amazing game.